Let's assume for the moment that money solves all of the world's problems. How much money do you think it would take to attract the next generation of accountants and CPAs back into the profession, or indeed into the profession to start with? Investors in global capital markets depend on a thriving accounting profession. Lots of small businesses and mid-sized businesses do the same. This is not a static profession. This is not an old fuddy-duddy profession. This is alive. This is fluid. This is rapidly changing. This is engaging. This is exciting. There is a lot of great work to be done, and a lot of businesses need you out here. Let's assume for the moment that money solves all of the world's problems. How much money do you think it would take to attract the next generation of accountants and CPAs back into the profession, or indeed into the profession to start with? That's what we're talking about today on the Accounting at Talent podcast, where we dive deep into the world of recruitment, retention, and the evolving landscape for the accounting profession. I'm your host, Rob Brown, and today we're looking at a transformative trend in the industry and the profession, how accounting firms are investing heavily in tech and generative AI to attract top talent and offer cutting-edge services to their clients. So, wherever you've got a vision, you need provision, you need resources behind it, you need money behind it. Jeff Phillips, my co-host, and I have done numerous episodes on the brand of accounting. I did a solo episode recently on the potential crisis in accounting and why people are not coming in. And we're going to look at some solutions down the line. But this is an interesting angle, and you will have seen it in the news. There's been a $1 billion investment by Ernst Young. Now, admittedly, big firm, and they've got the money, but they've invested to pay for higher wages for younger accountants, for technology, better training, more incentives. And it's a broader push by the Big Four to integrate AI, artificial intelligence, and tech, and incentives for accountants at all levels. So we're going to hear some insights on what these technological advancements mean reshaping the profession. Let's kick off things with this big headline. Ernst Young, $1 billion over the next 3 years to attract the next generation of accountants. And part of this is up in the ante on salaries, which is well needed. We've talked about that before, how accounting lags behind finance, legal, tech with starting salaries. But it's also a lot about integrating advanced technologies like AI into the core operations of an accounting firm. We know the business is coming through now with the Gen X's and millennials and Gen Zs. They are so tech savvy. If accountants that are still largely baby boomers and Gen X's, if they are still a little bit slow to the tech game, then they're going to lose out. Jeff Phillips and I did a great episode recently on how your tech helps to attract your talent. And these days, talent will not stand for poor tech. So we've got a play going on here by the big firms. And you know what the big firms do? The mid-tier will follow, and then even the smaller firms in investing in things like this to just stay on a level playing field with talent. Dante D'Egidio, this is EY's America's vice chair for assurance, said, "It's time," reading from the article here, "to put accounting graduates on a par with other business degree holders. EY's strategy is clear. They want to be the employer of choice for young accountants." I mean, the big four all want that, don't they? They tend to sweep up a lot of the cream. But EY are doing this with this place. So they're offering not just competitive pay, but a dynamic work environment that is infused, I'm being dramatic here, with the latest technological advancements. And it's not just EY. In another article, you can Google this, PwC, obviously a big giant in the accounting world, has also committed $1 billion to generative AI. Now, we don't know if that's ChatGPT. I've done a bonus episode that will come out on our Accounting Influencers show. I interviewed Microsoft and OpenAI, their Azure platform, and we talked about how that is changing the accounting game in giving accountants a lot more security about data, a lot more than an open platform like ChatGPT or Gemini or Bard or Claude. Azure is closed, if you like, but open in terms of generative AI. So there's a lot going on here. I don't pretend I understand it all. I am just commenting. So they're rolling out these technologies and they're making them a staple for their internal processes so that it attracts people into a culture of good technology. It said in this deal, PwC became let me get this right, became the largest customer of OpenAI's ChatGPT Enterprise. That is a bit more than the ChatGPT that you and I use. Integrating AI tools across their whole operations. Joe Atkinson, PwC's Vice Chair and Chief Products and Technology Officer, that's a mouthful of a job title, said our investment in AI is not just about staying current, it's about leading the way in how we serve our clients and empower our teams. I mean, it all sounds great, doesn't it? PwC's approach includes training of 100,000 employees on these new technologies. So it's not just about getting the tech in, it's implementing and getting that tech adopted. And it wants to make AI literacy, there's a new phrase, AI literacy, we've heard of financial literacy, but AI literacy a core component for their people's professional development. So we're wondering why such a heavy focus on AI. I've started doing some shows on our Accounting Influencers podcast with Mark Wickersham. He's very bleeding edge with ChatGPT and artificial intelligence. And the answer lies in this heavy focus on AI on two things: talent acquisition, client service. We know the accounting profession's been facing something of a crisis, declining numbers of accounting graduates coming out, declining numbers of would-be accounting graduates taking up a degree in accounting, high turnover of staff. Jeff and I talked about that, perceived lack of innovation, perceived lack of mental well-being, work-life balance. We know AI offers solutions to automating the routine tasks, improving accuracy in audits. Goodness knows we need that. We're still getting crazy stories of people getting audit wrong in big ways. And AI obviously provides deeper insights into the data analysis that speaks to the compliance, moving away from, and the advisory moving towards. Let's take another big four, KPMG. They've been raising starting salaries and investing heavily in AI. They see it as a tool, not just for efficiency, but attracting young talent who are excited about working with cutting edge technology. Can you imagine a 20-year-old, 25-year-old coming into your firm and you don't know what AI is, or you know what it is, but you don't use it in any systematic way, or you're using it, but you're using it personally on your home computer or just for your own little systems and processes? What are they going to do with that information? If you've not got systems, if you've not got heavy integration of AI and ChatGPT and other things in your firm, are they going to look elsewhere? Yes, probably will. So Jeff and I talked about it recently. It's a differentiator in a competitive talent market. People coming in are going to ask these questions. What's your technology like? KPMG's statement captures this well. They said, we've raised starting salaries by approximately 25% in 3 years, nearly double the rate of inflation, sounds like a politician, and continue to invest heavily in quality internship programs, L&D opportunities, and technology that attracts high quality talent. Let's bring in a little bit of commentary on this. The AI CPA's National Pipeline Advisory Group, we've had Lexi Kessler and Sue Coffey on here, head of the AI CPA, talking about this advisory pipeline group. They're trying to reverse the decline in accounting graduates, and they say it hinges on creating a more attractive employee experience. And yes, starting salaries that are competitive is part of that. Integrating technology like AI are increasingly expected by young professionals entering the field. Ginny Carlier, this is EY America's Vice Chair of Talent, says this: investors and global capital markets depend on a thriving accounting profession. We've talked before about how businesses pivot around accounting, how they are the custodians and guardians of data and the trusted advisors for strategic financial advice for businesses. So this Ginny Carlier goes on. Investors in global capital markets depend on a thriving accounting profession. Lots of small businesses and mid-sized businesses do the same. Our goal is to make EY the most preferred place to launch an audit or tax career and become a springboard for future business leaders. Do you see what they're doing here? They are trying to own the narrative for young talent. and create a value proposition for young talent that says, this is the way, walk in it, come to us. So we've established that the integration of AI is not just a flashy trend. It's not a new silver bullet. It's not the latest fad. There is a fundamental shift going on in how all industries, but particularly accounting, are approaching the profession and the way we serve clients and the way we attract talent, automating the mundane tasks. We know AI allows accountants to focus on more strategic value added activities. We know there's been a downward pressure on compliance fees. We know that historical approach is less valued by clients. So firms here, and particularly these big firms that are leading the charge, and obviously they've got the big budgets to do this, but it not only makes the job more appealing to new entrants, but it enhances the overall quality of service they can provide to clients. And when you've got happy clients and happy staff, you're probably in the ballpark. Let's close by talking about the implications of these investments. For those of us already in the accounting game, you've seen the AI-driven transformation means that we all have to upskill. I'm not an accountant. I'm a former high school maths teacher. I do have an accounting qualification, but I'm not a chartered accountant. But I am in this game. I run 3 accounting podcasts. I'm interviewing accountants and the influencers of accountants all the time. And this is an upskilling opportunity for all of us. The skills that got us here will not get us there. And firms are not just looking to bring in new talent. They want to invest in that talent to upskill them in these areas and invest in their current workforce to retain them, giving them training and development in AI and other advanced technologies, as well as all the leadership, presenting, communication skills, team building skills, EQ skills that are needed. Here's another quote. Kevin Flynn, EY Vice Chair of Tax, said, "Our focus is on the intersection of technology and talent to provide our people with opportunities for continuous learning, which ultimately benefits our clients." This is the focus on continuing learning. We all talk about CPD, CPE, continued professional development education. That is technical mostly in its approach. But as AI takes over more of the routine tasks, accountants are pivoting towards roles that require more analytical thinking, advisory skills, commercial awareness, strategic decision-making, business acumen. It's that shift from number crunching to problem solving and from compliance to consultancy that is ultimately making accounting more interesting, more engaging, more attractive as a career choice. I talked in a recent episode about how people in accounting need to do a better job of talking up accounting as a career choice. And let's not forget here the well-being aspect of a career in accounting. Busy seasons don't sell accounting well. And the Big Four are guilty of this. They will exert their pound of flesh for all of the compensation they're offering. So there is a price to pay. It may be in the number of hours, it may be what's expected of you. But we know that the generations coming through are increasingly attracted by work-life balance. Firms recognize this with their employee value proposition. They're supporting employees with mental health and well-being professionally and personally. EY in some of these articles is enhancing well-being programs, offering coaching and assistance during peak performance periods. It's a much needed step. A lot of smaller, more agile firms are doing this right now. BRC, Bernard Robinson and Company, a firm I work with in North Carolina, I interview their staff regularly to create videos about why their firm is a great place to work. They have an amazing culture, 60% female partners, very diverse, remote and hybrid in its approach. Nobody works long hours during busy season. And they've geared their firm up to do this really, really well. So in the time where work hours are demanded of you, they've managed to pivot. We can all do it. How prepared are you to make profits less important than people? So, summing up, what does the future hold for the accounting profession in an AI-driven landscape where there's huge money going into this now? It's an exciting time to be an accountant. The profession is evolving rapidly. Those that embrace these changes as individuals and as firms are going to find themselves at the forefront of a very dynamic and rewarding field. This is the message we need to be selling here. This is If you're an accountant in practice, this is what you're a part of. This push towards AI and technology, this is not a truck that gets reversed now. We are going squarely down this road. There is no turning back. There is no reverse gear here. The push is on opening new avenues in firms for career growth, for learning and development, for upskilling, whether that's specializing in AI-driven audit, technologies, data analytics, leveraging tools for strategic consultancy. The opportunities are enormous. For students and young professionals considering a career in accounting, the message is clear. We want you in here. This is not a static profession. This is not an old fuddy-duddy profession. This is alive. This is fluid. This is rapidly changing. This is engaging. This is exciting. There is a lot of great work to be done, and a lot of businesses need you out here. It's an ever-evolving field with numerous career paths, a chance to do meaningful work with some of the most advanced technologies available. If your firm is not, it sounds emotive to say jumping on the bandwagon, but if your firm is not following in these big firms, in investing in technology, at whatever level you can do that, you are going to become irrelevant very soon. So that's a wrap for today's episode of the Accounting Talent Podcast. We've explored how the big players in the accounting world are investing in AI to transform the profession, attract top talent, offer better services to clients. It's a time of significant change and opportunity, and we're just beginning, it seems like. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to the Accounting Talent Podcast on whatever platform you listen to it, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube as well. Get more insights and expert commentary on the latest trends in the accounting profession when it comes to talent. And we have opportunities to sponsor this show. If you'd like to talk to us about that, you care about the talent aspect of accounting, and you want to reach this audience and get involved in some of these shows, then reach out to me on LinkedIn. We can have a conversation. Until next time, I'm Rob Brown, reminding you to embrace the future of accounting because it is already here. AI is showing us that. You have a great day.